Wealth is not a zero-sum game. It is a positive-sum game. And more importantly, it is a skill. If you took everything I own away from me, my money, my reputation, my contacts, and dropped me in a random English-speaking country within 5 or 10 years, I would be wealthy again. I wouldn't be a billionaire again. That requires a massive amount of luck. But I would be wealthy, I would be free, because wealth is not a number in a bank account. It is a set of algorithms you run in your brain. It is a way of viewing the world. It is the ability to see value where others see noise. Most people think getting rich is about getting lucky. They think it's about winning a lottery, or picking the right stock, or being born into the right family. And sure, luck plays a role, but relying on luck is a terrible strategy. You want to be rich in a deterministic way. You want to execute a strategy where if you played the game of life 1,000 times, you would win 999 times. In 2026, the rules of this game have accelerated, but the physics haven't changed. The tools we use, AI, blockchain, global networks, have just made the leverage sharper. The feedback loops are tighter. The consequences of good and bad judgment are faster. Today, we are going to dismantle the algorithm of wealth creation. We are going to strip away the noise of the hustle culture and look at the first principles of how value is created, captured, and compounded. This is not about working harder. It is not about saving money on lattes. It is about understanding the nature of leverage, specific knowledge, and judgment. If you can master these, money becomes a boring byproduct of your competence. Right. Wealth versus money versus status. First, we must define our terms. If you don't know what you are chasing, you will never catch it. Wealth is not money. Wealth is the thing that earns while you sleep. Wealth is the factory, the robot, the computer code, the media content, the equity in the business. Wealth is the machine that works for you. Money is just the way we transfer wealth. Money is social credits. It is the ability to transfer credits for other people's time. Money is how we keep score, but it is not the game itself. Status is your rank in the social hierarchy. Most people confuse wealth and status. They buy a Ferrari to show they are rich. But the moment you buy the Ferrari, you are poorer by the cost of the Ferrari. You have traded wealth assets for status signaling. Status is a zero-sum game. For you to be number one, someone else has to be number two. Politics, sports, academia, these are status games. To win, you have to put someone else down. Wealth is a positive-sum game. We can all build houses. We can all write code. We can all create art. When I build a new technology, I don't take it away from you. I give it to the world. The first step to getting rich is to stop playing status games. Status games are seductive. They make you feel important, but they do not make you free. In fact, they make you a slave to the opinions of others. If you want to get rich, you have to be willing to look like an idiot for a long time. You have to be willing to build things that others don't understand. You have to be willing to be wrong, publicly, until you are right, dramatically. Ignore status. Seek wealth. Seek freedom. Specific knowledge, the authenticity moat. In the age of AI, general knowledge is free. If you want to know how to calculate a derivative, or write a marketing email, or code a basic website, the AI will do it for you in seconds, for fractions of a cent. The average worker is in trouble. If your job can be taught in a school, it can be taught to an AI. If your job is following a set of instructions, you are a robot waiting to be replaced by a real robot. So, how do you compete? You don't. You escape competition through authenticity. You need to find your specific knowledge. Specific knowledge is the knowledge that you cannot be trained for. If society can train you, it can train someone else to replace you. Specific knowledge is found by pursuing your genuine curiosity and passion rather than whatever is hot right now. It is usually at the intersection of 2 or 3 weird interests. Maybe you love sci-fi novels, you understand investment banking, and you are obsessed with meme culture. Individually, those are hobbies. Combined, you are the only person in the world who can run a media company focused on futuristic finance for Gen Z. Specific knowledge feels like play to you, but looks like work to others. When you are doing something that feels like play, you can do it for 16 hours a day without burnout. Your competitors who are just doing it for the money will quit after 8 hours. You will outwork them effortlessly. In 2026, AI has commoditized execution. The how is easy. The what is hard. The only thing AI cannot copy is you. It cannot copy your unique life experience, your unique combination of tastes, your unique perspective. You want to become the best in the world at being you. If you are competing with someone, you are in the wrong lane. Competition is for losers. Competition implies you are copying. If you are building something unique, there is no competition. There is only the market deciding if it wants what you have. Double down on what makes you weird. That is your edge. The 4 forms of leverage. Once you have your specific knowledge, you need to apply leverage. Archimedes said, "Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I will move the earth." You are one person. You have 24 hours in a day. You have limited energy. If you only use your own 2 hands, you will never get rich. You need to amplify your effort. There are 4 forms of leverage. 1. Labor leverage. This is the oldest form. It means having people work for you. It's the factory owner model. I have 100 people working for me. This is the worst form of leverage. Managing people is messy. It requires tremendous social skills. It has high overhead. It is fragile. In the modern age, you want the minimum number of employees necessary. 2. Capital leverage. This is money. Using money to make more money. It's what Warren Buffett does. It is very powerful. It scales infinitely, but it is hard to get. You need to prove you have good judgment before people give you their money. It is a permissioned leverage. You need someone to say yes. 3. Code leverage. This was the great revolution of the last 30 years. Code is an army of robots that work for you while you sleep. They don't unionize. They don't get tired. They don't complain. You write the software once, and millions of people can use it. The marginal cost of replication is 0. This is permissionless leverage. No one can stop you from learning Python. No one can stop you from uploading an app to the App Store. 4. Media leverage. This is the leverage of the new creators. Podcasts, YouTube videos, blogs, tweets. Like code, you create it once and it works for you forever. This video you are consuming right now is media leverage. I recorded it once. Whether 1 person listens or 1 million people listen, my effort is the same, but the output is disconnected from the input. The 2026 update, the AI multiplier. In 2026, code and media have merged into a new super leverage, AI agents. Previously, you had to know how to code to build software. Now, you just need to know how to think. You can describe what you want to an AI, and it will write the code. Previously, you had to be a writer to produce media. Now, you can use AI to edit, distribute, and translate your ideas. We are moving toward a world of 1-person unicorns. Companies with billion-dollar valuations run by 3 people and 1,000 AI agents. The barrier to entry for building a product is 0. This means the market will be flooded with noise. This brings us back to specific knowledge. Since anyone can build anything, the question becomes, who is building it? Trust is the scarcest asset. If you have built a personal brand, if you have media leverage, people will trust your code. They will trust your product. The ultimate goal is to have specific knowledge backed by permissionless leverage code amplified by capital. Accountability, taking the risk. You cannot get rich without owning equity. If you are paid for your time, you are renting out your life, you are selling your limited hours for a fixed rate. This is a bad trade. To get rich, you need to own a piece of a business. You need stock options, revenue share, or equity, but equity is not given for free. Equity is the reward for taking accountability. Accountability means taking risks under your own name. When the ship sinks, the captain goes down with it. That is accountability. Because the captain takes the lethal risk, the captain gets the highest reward and the highest status. Most people flee from accountability. They want to be part of a team. They want to hide behind a corporate logo. They want to say, we decided, not I decided. If you want to get rich, you must step forward. You must say, I will take responsibility for this project. If it fails, blame me. If it succeeds, pay me. Society rewards accountability with leverage. If you have a track record of delivering on your promises under your own name, society will give you money and people leverage. Look at the biggest names in wealth. Elon Musk, Oprah Winfrey, Warren Buffett, Kanye West. They are brands. Their names are the business. They take extreme accountability. This is scary. It requires a thick skin. You will be criticized. You will be attacked. But remember, a person who is not afraid of losing is the most powerful person in the room. If you have a high level of accountability, you can capture a larger percentage of the value you create. If you are a faceless employee, you might create $10 million of value, but you will be paid $100,000. If you are a sovereign individual with a reputation, you create $10 million of value, and you might keep $5 million. Brand is just the public perception of your accountability. Judgment, direction, over speed. In an age of infinite leverage, judgment is everything. Imagine you are the captain of a massive ocean liner. That ship is leverage. It has thousands of horsepower. If you point the ship in the wrong direction, all that power just gets you to the wrong place faster. Hard work is overrated. In the agrarian age, hard work mattered. If you hoed the field for 12 hours, you got twice the crop of the guy who hoed for 6 hours. In the industrial age, hard work mattered. If you stood on the assembly line longer, you made more widgets. In the information age, hard work is merely the table stakes. A software engineer who works hard on the wrong feature destroys value. A CEO who works 100 hours a week acquiring the wrong company destroys billions. One correct decision by a person with leverage is worth more than a lifetime of hard work by a person with no leverage. Judgment is the ability to know the consequences of your actions in advance. It is wisdom. How do you get judgment? You get it from experience. And you can accelerate experience by studying history and philosophy. You want to study the timeless. Read the books that have survived for 100 years. Avoid the news. The news is noise. It is designed to make you anxious and angry. It has zero predictive value. Read microeconomics, read evolutionary biology, read game theory, read physics. These are the operating systems of reality. If you understand the basics of how incentives work, economics, how systems evolve, and how probability works, you will have better judgment than the person who memorizes facts. If you have two choices, choose the one that is more difficult in the short term. Usually, the difficult path contains the pain that leads to growth. The easy path is the trap of instant gratification. With good judgment, you don't need to work 80 hours a week. You can work 10 hours a week. But every hour is high leverage. You are more like a sniper than a machine gunner. You take one shot, and it counts. Patience, the compounding effect. All returns in life, whether in wealth, relationships, or knowledge, come from compound interest. Compounding is magic. It is non-intuitive. The human brain thinks linearly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Compounding is exponential 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. At the beginning, the difference looks small, but over 10 or 20 years, the difference is astronomical. This applies to everything. Compound reputation. If you have a reputation for integrity, people will deal with you faster and easier. Deals that take lawyers months can be done by you in a handshake. That is speed. That is wealth. Compound knowledge. If you read every day, the knowledge builds on itself. You start seeing patterns that others miss. Compound wealth. Obviously, money makes money. The trick is that compounding takes time. It requires patience. Most people want to get rich now, but get-rich-quick schemes are just someone else getting rich off of you. You have to play long-term games with long-term people. If you switch industries every 2 years, you are resetting your compounding. You are starting from zero. If you switch partners every year, you are resetting your relationship equity. Pick a thing you can do for the rest of your life. Pick people you can work with for the rest of your life. When you find something that works, don't stop. Let it compound. The vast majority of the rewards come at the very end of the cycle. Warren Buffett made 99% of his wealth after the age of 50. If he had retired at 45, he would be a nobody. You need to be impatient with actions, but patient with results. Do the work today. Be aggressive today, but don't expect the fruit to fall from the tree tomorrow. BII, the position of F times CKU. Why do we want to be rich? It's not for the Ferraris. It's not for the champagne. It is for freedom. I call it FICU money. It means you can walk into any room, and if you don't like the vibe, you can say FICU and walk out. It means you don't have to tolerate a bad boss. You don't have to compromise your ethics. You don't have to wear a suit if you don't want to. Wealth is the ability to refuse. But there is a trap. As you make more money, your desires tend to increase. You buy the bigger house, you send the kids to the more expensive school, you join the expensive club. This is lifestyle creep. If your lifestyle grows as fast as your income, you are not getting wealthier. You are just running on a faster treadmill. You are still a slave, you just have golden handcuffs. Freedom is the gap between your income and your desires. You can increase your freedom in two ways: increase your income or decrease your desires. Decreasing your desires is easier and faster. Desire is a contract you make with yourself to be unhappy until you get what you want. The modern world is an addiction machine. It is designed to make you want things. Social media, advertising, 24/7 news cycles, they are all hacking your dopamine reward system. To be truly wealthy, you must master your own mind. You must learn to be happy with what you have while you pursue what you want. If you cannot be happy with a coffee and a book, you will not be happy with a yacht and a cigar. The yacht and the cigar are just expensive distractions from your own thoughts. True wealth is waking up in the morning and saying, I can do whatever I want today. And sometimes the best thing to do is nothing. Practical steps for 2026. So how do we operationalize this? What do you do on Monday morning? 1, learn to sell and learn to build. If you can do both, you will be unstoppable. Building in 2026 means mastering AI tools, code, or product design. Selling means writing, speaking, persuasion, and psychology. If you can build but can't sell, you are a starving artist. If you can sell but can't build, you are a peddler of snake oil. Combine them. 2, productize yourself. Look at your hobbies. Look at what you do on the weekends. Look at what your friends ask you for advice on. That is your niche. Start a project, a blog, a YouTube channel, a SaaS product, a consulting firm. Do it under your own name. Do it consistently. 3, move to a tech hub or create one online. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you live in a town where everyone is complaining about the economy and waiting for a government handout, you will absorb that mindset. Connect with builders, connect with optimists. The internet allows you to do this from anywhere, but physical proximity still matters for serendipity. 4, read a lot. Read the greats. Feynman, Darwin, Munger, Taleb. Build a mental latticework of models. When you encounter a problem, don't ask, what do I do? Ask, what kind of problem is this? Is it a principal agent problem? Is it a tragedy of the commons? Is it a supply-demand issue? Using models makes you a better thinker. 5, prioritize your health. A healthy man wants 1,000 things. A sick man only wants one thing. You cannot enjoy wealth if you are dead or disabled. Your body is the only vehicle you get for this ride. Lift heavy weights, eat real food, get sunlight, sleep 8 hours. This is not vanity. This is energy management. You need high energy to execute. 6, value your time at an aspirational hourly rate. Set a rate for yourself. Say $500 an hour. If a task costs less than $500 to outsource, outsource it. If returning a shirt to the store takes an hour and saves you $20, throw the shirt away. This sounds arrogant. It's not. It is training your brain to value your time. If you don't respect your time, no one else will. You need to free up your time so you can think and build. You cannot build a future if you are busy doing laundry. Conclusion, the final truth. The most important thing to remember is this: you will die. In the grand scheme of the universe, you are nothing. You are a speck of dust on a rock circling a mediocre star in a forgotten galaxy. Everything you build will eventually turn to dust. Everyone you know will be forgotten. This is not depressing. It is liberating. It means you don't have to take life so seriously. You don't have to be stressed. You don't have to be afraid of failure. Failure is just a data point. Life is a game. It is a single-player game that you play in your own head. The goal of the game is not to win the most tokens. The goal is to play the game beautifully. Get rich so you can stop worrying about money. Get rich so you can help your friends and family. Get rich so you can be free. But don't think for a second that money will solve your internal problems. Money solves your money problems. That's it. It won't make you happy. It won't make you loved. It won't give you peace. Peace comes from the understanding that you are enough. Happiness comes from the absence of desire. So go out there, play the game, build, create, take risks, have fun. But remember, it's just a game.